Hey everybody, welcome to Escape Reality Star Wars Talk. Sorry, I had to wait for the audio to cut in. I'm your host, Caleb.
Hello, I'm Seth, Caleb's co-host, and occasionally, sometimes I finish reading books in the span of a week so we can talk about them.
Yeah. This week, thankfully, the homework assignment was a little bit easier.
Yeah.
It was just a 22-page comic book, if that.
Yeah,
It might have been shorter than that, actually.
it's a little bit longer, but not by much.
Well,
Whole thing was like 33 pages, but
At-
that's
yeah.
because of
yeah, I think there were ads in that,
Yeah.
the one I sent you. Yeah. Either way, not too bad. We also got some Star Wars news. So, this show, we generally talk about Star Wars in the order of when things happen. So, just to give kind of the premise of the show for people that are new.
Yep.
But we also talk about anything brand new that's coming out. And we tend to stay with canon, but this week is not canon.
Yeah.
Because it's Visions.
Returning back to the
Returning
very
back.
origins
Yeah.
of this show.
Yeah, because we started our show with the Visions episode.
Yep.
Yeah, because we talked. The first episode of this season, anyways,
Mhm.
was the Visions TV show.
Yep.
But before we go into that, let's talk a little bit about some news because we've had a little bit of news in the past week. Also, it's the first time we should also be happy we're live again.
Yeah.
Instead
Been a
of
while.
Yeah, it's been 3 weeks. This will be the third week.
Yep.
So 2 weeks without us being live, and now we're live.
I can sense the disappointment, but hey,
Yeah.
we at least tried to make things acceptable.
So, let's get into news because I
Yeah.
keep saying we're going to get into it.
No, let's stall for another 10 minutes.
So the Acolyte TV show I'm excited for, because it's High Republic era,
Yeah.
and also it's going to be about Sith and Darksiders and all that stuff. So we have gotten confirmation that they started shooting in Shinfield Studios. So after 2 years since it was announced, it is now filming. Which means more than likely we're going to get it around. So if they're starting filming now, I see late 2023 to early 2024.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they got to have time to film all the episodes
Film it.
and then edit it.
Yeah.
And even then, they might do reshoots. So putting all that in, might even be mid to late 2024, depending.
Mm.
Which actually, where we're getting this from, Star Wars Newsnet, they actually don't have an idea, but they're talking about how Andor Season 2 will be targeted for the summer to fall 2024. So maybe we'll get early 2024 for Acolyte, so then we get Andor in mid to late 2024. Andor, yeah. Cassian Andor. Cassian Andor.
Oh god.
Let's see. And I think that's Source. I'm trying to see where they got their source. Bespin Bulletin.
Mm.
Just so that way we have the sources. Speaking of Acolyte, with it production underway, there is reportedly from. So this comes from Hot Mic through Above the Line. Never really heard of it. So take it with a grain of salt.
Mm.
Daphne Keene from Logan, X-23.
Yep.
They are reportedly casted in The Acolyte. I would definitely enjoy seeing Daphne Keene in The Acolyte. They were also recently in the HBO adaptation of His Dark Materials.
Okay.
Because they played the main character.
Mm.
Known to a lot of us Americans as the Golden Compass because of the first movie version.
Yeah.
But His Dark Materials is the series. So once again, I think she's a good actress. I liked what she did with His Dark Materials. I also liked her as X-23 in Logan. So I would be I think she could fit in the Acolyte and in Star Wars easily.
Hmm.
So, any thoughts regarding any of this? Thoughts regarding the filming? Thoughts about Daphne Keene?
I'm glad they started filming it.
Are you just as excited for that show as I am? Is that
Yeah.
is that the show that we both agree is the show to wait for?
Yeah, hopefully everything will go right. And I think, having seen Daphne Keene's previous work, I look forward to seeing what else she can do.
Right. She's got a lot of like.
For those of you,
Yeah.
I'm not feeling the best today, but I'm here
Yeah.
and I'm doing my best.
Thankfully, it's short today.
Yeah, so
So.
let's do this.
Yeah. And then okay, so we're gonna jump to video game news ish.
Yeah.
So it's not news really, but it's like it's like, oh, okay, cool, I'm excited, and it's a reason for me to play this game again. Fortnite is currently having a Star Wars week that they're calling Skywalker Week, where they've dropped Luke, Leia, and Han skins. And if you buy the Luke skins, you get all three of the like clothed options. So you get Farm Boy Luke, Jedi, Return of the Jedi Luke, and then Return of the Jedi Luke with the hood. Leia, you get A New Hope Leia, Indoor Leia, and Boosh Leia, so Bounty Hunter Leia. Han, you get A New Hope Han, Indoor Han, and I don't know what the other one is. But they also added some other stuff. I can't afford any of it. I am broke, but I'm still playing because as part of the week, they've also brought back lightsabers and E11 blasters to the game that you can find, and you can get that and fight Vader and get mad at people who attack you when you should both be fighting Vader and not each other. I've already played a little bit of it this week.
I see.
Yeah. Look, if we're
For context, Fortnite is a massive online battle.
It's a battle
building.
royale. It's a battle royale.
It's a battle royale.
With
depending life building elements.
Depending, because they do have the no build. Mode. They have the no build game mode, which is what I play no build.
Or at least that's what it originated.
Yeah, it originated as a. Well, if we want to talk about what it originated as, it was a tower defense game. If we're really, because it was like a No More Orcs sort of deal, where you built the traps and you watched but it was a zombie invasion.
Yeah.
But, so with it being a battle royale, there are 3 ways you can play the battle royale. You can do solo, you can do it with duos, actually 4 ways: trios or squads. And squads end up being of 4. So sometimes I just play solo because sometimes my friends can't play with me, so I just play by myself.
Yep.
Because I still want to because there's also Battle Pass, which is basically you pay money to unlock things as you get better and get XP. So I unlock the Battle Pass, and at the end of this season, you get Gwen, you get Spider-Gwen. And so I'm working towards that. And so I do solo, and I'm like, oh, it's Skywalker Week, cool. More reason for me to play this game, because I like Star Wars, and it's also kind of why I'm even playing Fortnite, is for the Star Wars skins. And so so part of it is that they did for Skywalker Week is Darth Vader lands with you guys, but he's in inside the I forgot the name of the ship. Lambda class shuttle, and he lands down the Lambda class shuttle separately from the battle bus, right? But you can see where he's going, and he always lands in the same place. So we go there. So in Fortnite you have quests that you can complete to get XP. One of them for Skywalker Week was take down Vader, or at least assist in killing Vader. You don't have to be the one that gets the kill. You just have to put enough damage in him that you assisted. So I'm thinking, okay, cool. I'm going to go down there, because he's also landed near where some lightsabers and E11s are, so I'm going to grab a lightsaber and an E11 blaster rifle and hop on out of there, right? Or worst case scenario, get into a fight with him. So I land there, start to grab my stuff. Here's the problem. Other people are also doing the same thing. It's a battle royale, so it's last man standing.
Yep.
What would you think is the logical idea if you are near a dangerous NPC who has the Force, by the way? They gave Vader Force push and pull, and he can throw objects at you. And his lightsaber at you.
Hmm.
So these are all things that Vader can do that a regular player in Fortnite can't. Even if you pick up your own lightsaber.
Hmm.
You have to specifically have... Killing Vader lets you pick up his lightsaber, which lets you do the lightsaber throw.
Ah.
So, there's benefits to getting rid of Vader. Because he's dangerous, and if you beat him, oh, cool weapon.
Yeah.
What's the logical thing to do here? Is it to A, kill Vader as a group, or B, kill each other and then let Vader kill us because we're fighting each other? I may have given the answer.
Welcome to a battle royale.
What do you mean we don't have video? You can't see us? Or was that an older comment? Sorry, I'm looking at comments now.
Yeah. We should.
Is our video feed working?
Yeah, that's a good question. Let us know. Because
It'd be upsetting to have gone for almost 20 minutes and have no video going.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah.
Well, I'm glad our audio is working.
Well, I'm figuring that out. Go ahead and answer the question, Seth.
Oh, well, I think the answer would be A, but no, because it's a battle royale game. So the real answer is B, because that's what happened.
Yeah, that is exactly what happened. Multiple times.
Yep.
Like, literally... Oh, I see video on the YouTube feed. Let me check the Twitch feed, because you're on Twitch.
Mm-hmm.
Weird. Why is our video feed not working on Twitch?
That's a good question. Da, 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 da. Mm-hmm. I can hear the crazy taxi soundtrack.
Hold on, I think I know what's going on.
We're having some slight technical difficulties at the moment.
Nope, it's not that.
Alright.
Thought maybe I left that on, but nope. Hold on, let me... Let me check. But yeah, anyways, while I'm fixing this,
Yeah.
because I know the YouTube feed's working, so at least YouTube, it must be a Twitch issue that's going on. So yeah, that's my experience with the game right now.
It hasn't been grand, is what I'm gonna say.
I mean, it's fun still. Like, I enjoy it. Like
everyone else enjoys multiplayer shooters and such, but for those of you who don't know, I don't.
Yeah.
I like my single player RPGs.
Sometimes with shooting.
Sometimes with shooting. Shooting's optional, but it is very useful.
Yeah, you might need to switch to YouTube, because for some reason it is not working on Twitch, but it's working on YouTube just fine.
Yeah. And so
sorry to our Twitch viewers.
Yeah. Today is an interesting day.
Yeah, YouTube's working just fine. But yeah, last piece of news.
Yeah.
Fantasy Flight Games is releasing a Star Wars deck building game.
Hmm.
It is coming out in March of next year, and I'm really excited because I like deck building games.
Yep.
I mean, I like DC deck builders. I like Marvel Legendary, so this is right up my alley.
Now, are we gonna have to play this?
Yeah, oh, we're probably gonna play this at some point.
All right.
Maybe not for the show, but for ourselves.
So
It does look like it's only one-on-one fights, though, which are okay.
yeah.
I mean, I was hoping for something more like a DC deck builder or a Marvel Legendary where it's...
Take out thing X as a group.
Yeah, but then like point system.
Yeah.
So there's still like there is, but no, it's I'm reading the description. So here's the official description. Deck building game is a fast-paced two-player game that brings the galaxy-spanning war between the Galactic Empire and the Rebel Alliance to your tabletop. Featuring easy-to-learn gameplay and iconic Star Wars characters like Luke Skywalker, Princess Leia, and Darth Vader, this title is a battle for the galaxy that anyone can enjoy. In this new head-to-head game for two players, you and your opponent can each choose a side, playing as either the Empire or the Rebels, and as the game progresses, you both strengthen the power of your starting decks and work to destroy each other's bases. The first player to destroy 3 of their opponent's bases wins the game. So
Okay.
So it's a opponent. No, it's a base fighter with deck building elements. Cool.
All right. So
I'm not sure if you've ever played a deck building game. I don't think so.
I have.
No.
Oh,
Constance.
I don't know then.
Yeah. You have. I know you have. You played DC deck building with us as well as Legendary at some point.
I only played that one once.
Yeah, Legendary got weird where it got ruined by some people because DC deck building got ruined, but Legendary, because everybody liked the problem is too many people in our group wanted to only play DC deck building all the time.
Yeah.
And it's it's a good game, but we wanted to play other games.
Mm.
Let's play some Legendary because it's been a minute. Oh, I didn't bring it. Why not? Because I brought DC deck building.
Oh man.
Yeah. So I'm interested though to see a Star Wars deck building game.
Also, we've seen Fantasy Flight's previous work.
Yeah, Fantasy Flight. I tend to like their games.
Yep.
They tend to not always do the best when it comes to marketing those games and having them in stock.
But they actually make them pretty well.
Yeah. It's not a design issue. It's a supply and demand issue I usually have with them.
But now we're at that point.
It's time for the review.
Yeah. So just a heads up.
Full spoilers.
Full spoilers.
Also, a little bit of potential spoiler talk of Ronin novel and Visions and the dual episode of Visions, because we'll probably talk about it and how it connects to this comic. This comic is a prequel to those events, though. Yes. So let's get into it.
All right.
Visions one shot. So we start off. So this is before the Ronin fights. I forget her name now because it's been so long, but the Sith witch lady. And so we start off with some random old man and his droid going through the mountains in the snow.
Yep.
And he goes over this bridge where he runs into basically a bunch of highwaymen.
Yeah.
Who are like, "Hey, give us your money, and if you can't give us money, give us your droid."
And there's a great fucking thing from the old man who we've just encountered. He's like, "A lot of people are gonna die here."
Yeah, he says, "Who wants to fight in a place like this?" Well, looks like we will see a lot of dead bodies here. And then he laughs, and then he says, "Gotta run before we get hit by a stray blaster bolt. Let's go."
Anyhow, goodbye.
Yeah, and they don't do anything to stop him, so he manages to get past them without paying the fee.
Yep. So
without fighting them either.
Yep.
Like they kind of just are like, not worth it.
It is. So there are two things going on here, in regards to this new character we've encountered. We will find out that they are called the Shogun later.
Yep.
But at the moment, they are.
Yeah. The
There are two references going on here. One of which is to Afro Samurai.
yeah.
There's no way that man does not look
let
like
me
Afro
yeah let
Samurai.
me pull it up for our audience. We'll get a. I'll give them a good look at this character.
Okay, there we go.
Let me. Oh. I was
Oh,
hoping.
no. Caleb, what have you done?
I was hoping that view would be better, but it won't let me do that view. So,
Yep.
but I can do this. There we go.
Yeah.
So that is the old man.
Yep.
Yeah, he just looks like Afro Samurai.
Yep. The other thing is there's another samurai kind of like reference going on here. Because I'm 90% sure that guy's blind
Oh yeah, absolutely.
to another popular
Which
blind samurai.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Do you know the name?
I don't know the name off the top of my head.
There's a series featuring a blind samurai called Zatoichi,
Ah.
who is also an old man.
I was just thinking
Isn't,
about
however-
yeah. I was thinking more about the fact that, with the reveal about who this character is, it makes sense that they'll do the blind like the blind archetype, because they really like that archetype for those type of characters.
Mm.
But yeah.
So the bandits decide.
We'll let this old man go.
Well, they don't. I don't think they even see.
No,
him.
no, well. Oh, you're right. Yeah, because he's watching from afar.
Yeah.
They're actually talking to our buddy Ronan.
Yeah, they're like you said, they are highwaymen. Give us your money. No money. Give us your droid.
And of course, Ronan, aka Grim, as he'll later become known,
Is like,
how about no? And he
hear
pulls
me out. What if I don't?
And so they shoot at him, and of course he pulls out his lightsaber, and it's the red blade.
And they're like,
oh, it's a Sith, obviously, because you see red lightsaber, you think Sith,
better kill him. We're not scared of you.
and that does not go well for them, especially
Yeah.
since our favorite little droid buddy of the Ronins is also fully loaded as well, and starts shooting at them as well.
This is another like samurai thing. I'm like, did you make a droid version of the baby carriage from fucking Lone Wolf and Cub?
Which is also a reference to Mandalorian, because Grogu has the baby carriage as well.
Yeah. But this one's weird in that it's much more direct.
Yeah. It's also like locked and loaded with a bunch of guns.
Yeah.
Once again, I just
The
got
baby carriage from Lone Wolf and Cub is also covered in a shit ton of weapons,
Yeah,
so
this
that
is
people
like-
can't get into it while the dad's all fighting.
Yeah, this is another one I'm just gonna have to show the audience.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's locked and loaded and ready to go.
Yep.
So it does not go well for the highwaymen.
No.
They die.
Yeah.
They dead. So eventually Ronan makes his way to this hot springs,
Yep.
where he's kind of relaxing, and
Oh, thank God. I just murdered 20 people.
and
Actually, the number's a lot higher now that I think about it.
yeah,
because
you
of what happened. What's
Yeah.
described in the next.
So old man shows up and is like, "Hey, you mind if I join you in this hot springs?" And of course Ronan's like, "No, I don't really care." And so old man joins him, and he has some sake.
Yeah. The great thing is that they go through 6 fucking bottles.
Yeah, he's like, "Here, I'll share my sake, because what kind of jerk would I be if I didn't?"
Just. He's like, I have some. And the old man's like, I didn't mean to insinuate you had to share.
Yeah.
He's like, it's fine.
So they go through, like you said, 6 bottles of it, just like, kind of just chilling,
Yeah.
like, but also like old man is trying to dig into Ronan's past, but
Yeah.
Ronan is kind of brushing those questions aside the best he can.
Like, he's giving vague and ominous answers to all of them.
Also, I think this is the best shot we've ever seen of Ronan.
Yeah.
Like,
In terms of, like, how much this guy's gotten fucked up.
yeah. Because we don't... Like, we know he's messed up.
And
we know he's got the robotic jaw. But, like, this is the best shot we've ever gotten of that.
Yeah.
Like, because I think even the Duel does a poor job of showing that his jaw is cybernetic.
Yeah.
And even the book cover for Ronan kind of vaguely shows it. But I think this is the best we've seen of it. And we also see that it's not the only cybernetics he's dealt with. He's got a little bit of some implants in his arm. And so,
Like, this is one of my things about, like, characters and, like, cybernetics and implants. Like, I'm 90%... I'm like 100% sure he actually needs those. They're not for show.
These are, yeah, because you've had this discussion that you are not a fan of cybernetics in Star Wars unless it's like medically necessary.
Yeah.
You don't like the I'm gonna upgrade and become a better killer sort of stuff. You like the I need this to live.
Yeah.
Or hey, I need an arm.
Yeah. Because it's like part of my job in regards to Dr. Ganole.
Mm-hmm. Well, I meant also like needing an arm in the case of I lost an arm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
because that's not life-threatening, but it is like it's an inconvenience to your normal life.
But yeah, then they're like...
So they talk about the war and how bad the war was, which we get some really...
So...
Honestly, I just got to keep sharing this because the imagery is just so good in this comic.
In the Ronin...
Ronin-verse, I guess we'll call it.
The war sort of started because Jedi
were warlords.
Jedi were warlords, and they served under a government. And this goes back to
this goes back
samurai history and stuff.
And this goes back to talking a little bit about what we've learned from the Ronin novel. So why we said some spoilers from that.
And Ronin wasn't about that. Which is why the Sith exists in this one.
Yeah. So Ronin, in fact, wasn't just a part of it. He was the man who started it. Because he was like, you know what? These Jedi warlords are kind of not great.
Yeah. He's like, yo, we're too involved in the politics. Also, I get the sense that some people are just using it for money and power.
Yeah, financial gain.
So what if we just
didn't? Yeah. And so I do like this imagery here because so the whole idea of the Ronin verse is that it's not exactly the same as like the main Star Wars timeline, but like you get a lot of imagery from the original timeline. Like the Duel has the stormtrooper armor imagery because you have the bandits in the Duel that are wearing some of the armor, but it's like in shambles because they're bandits. They don't have full sets of armor. And then here, as I showed earlier, we got like the Clone Wars kind of vibe from. So the war kind of was closer to like the Clone Wars in style, in terms of like what their armor looked like, because the main soldiers look like clones, but with like that samurai helmet.
Yeah.
And then like you got the ATTE ships instead of the ATATs. You got like the LAATs landing gunships. You got like what's the class for cruise for the fleet cruiser ships during this time?
I'm not familiar.
I can't remember the name of the class, but it's the Clone Wars era, the Acclimator class, Acclimators. Okay. So so like I really like this. So yeah, they talk about how horrible the war was, and
Shogun's like, man, that war sucked.
Yeah, so he reveals, hey, I used to be called Shogun back then.
Yeah.
And I also lost my eyes during one of the battles.
In Ronin.
Ronin says Shogun as if he's heard the name.
Yeah.
I think he's heard of this guy.
Yep.
But So
Yeah, man.
yeah,
I got struck by lightning and fell off a building.
yeah. So near the end of the war, Shogun apparently had this vision. So he got hit by lightning, or at least what he believes was lightning. We never confirmed that it was lightning. He's just
it
like,
looks like lightning to me.
well, he says what seemed like lightning.
Well, he was blind, so
Well, he's blind now because of this. And so, well, no, he might have been blind already by then.
yeah.
But he fell from a high tower and survived. But then he meets with the gods?
Yep.
Because he talks to the father.
Yeah. Hey, kid.
And basically, the father shows him a vision of all the terror.
That is a different thing.
Oh, no, hold on.
That
Oh, yeah.
I counted them. 17.
Oh, yeah. So while Shogun's telling his story, Ronin is thinking back on his journey and talks about what he did as well and how he's kind of changed.
Yeah.
Because it kind of goes from,
He's like, I was told to go look for some fucking temple. And Ronan's like, I don't know where that... I've heard of it. I don't know where it is.
Yeah. And so...
And they're like talking about what they felt in regards to the war and how things have changed since then.
How many did you say?
17.
There might be 2 more back there, so... Here, I just want to play this game of figuring out as well, and we'll let the audience join us. So I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19.
Okay, so there were 2 more than I thought.
Just because there were that 2 that were hidden up there. But that's still a lot. And this is in Ronin telling of like how many Sith he's killed since the end of the war. Because he now goes... Because by the end of the war, Ronin was like, hey, I was wrong. Ish.
I agree with what I did at the time. Maybe it wasn't the best method, though.
Maybe it went too far.
Yeah, like, that was his real issue with it. He's like, I'm glad I did this, or started this. It didn't end how I was hoping it would end, though.
It ended with a lot more deaths than I was hoping.
Yeah.
And so, now he goes around hunting any Sith that are still left.
Yep.
Meanwhile, Shogun talks about how the father told him to go to a certain planet, to a certain temple, and... that he would find truth there, and yep. Unfortunately, though, it's a planet that it can't be found.
Yep.
Much like our planet in Ronin novel.
Where does it exist? We don't fucking know.
So...
It's like, I'm just looking for answers. Unfortunately, they have been eluding me.
Yeah.
And we get a nice little
We
break
get some,
from this serious discussion.
with some
to
Ewoks.
Ewoks and droid gambling.
Yeah. Who knew Ewoks were such heavy gamblers?
Who knew droids could gamble that?
Also, if you're playing against a droid, are they cheating?
I don't think so. Because I think that's an
Well, it's an astromech, but that doesn't mean he wasn't.
That doesn't mean it wasn't cheating, I suppose.
Because he could have been added. He could have added programs.
True. Usually his added programs seem to be more inclined towards extreme violence.
Yeah, rocket launchers, and it's very benign of him.
Yeah.
And so, that basically,
They're like, alright.
basically it turns out like Ronin's droid is like a huge gambler though.
Yeah.
Like he's like, yeah, he loves his dice more than anything else. And it's just like, what?
Like,
And
weird.
Shogun mentions that there's like a casino nearby on the other side of the mountain.
He's like, yeah, it's closed right now, though, on account of how 20 guys got, like, fucking wrecked.
Yeah, only the lead guy from the Highwaymen came back.
Yeah. He was like, they said he had a red lightsaber too. The guy that,
That beat the crap out of him.
yeah.
And
Weird day.
so it turns out they just stayed in this hot spring an entire night, had like
Yep.
drinks the entire night because it's morning by the time this
Yep.
conversation's done. And so that's when Ronan's like, "All right, time to get out. Let's go." And 5-6 is like, "Damn it, I was winning."
Yeah.
And Shogun's like, "Yeah, you're right. I should get going too. You mind if I join you?" And so to not be suspicious, Ronan's like, "Yeah, I guess."
Yep.
And so they keep talking a little bit about like maybe stopping somewhere else for more drinks and partying. And unfortunately, Ronan's like, nope, I got to ride.
He's like, I gotta catch my train, my bus, ship,
Yeah, my ship,
my bus train ship.
my bus. And so he's like, oh, too bad. Figured we could have some more fun. And they kind of pass this shrine
Yeah.
while they're there where Shogun kind of shows his respect. And Ronan isn't as much of a...
Yeah.
But he's respectful to it. And this is when we get to the...
It's a case of like, it's not at Ronan while he doesn't go and do like the prayers and motions.
He's not disrespectful
He's
either.
not. He's like, yeah, it's like going through a graveyard a little bit.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know anybody here, so I'm not going to,
Yeah.
like, pray to them, but I'm also, like, not going to, you know,
I'm not gonna beat an ass.
Yeah, I'm not going to go kicking graves and stuff either.
Yeah.
And so, this is when we kind of hit the climax of it all,
Like-
where basically both sides are revealing, hey, I know you're a Force user.
It's like,
So what are we going to do about this? Because Ronan's...
it's kind of awkward. But
Yeah, because Ronan's like, I know you're a Jedi, Shogun, and Shogun's like, I know you're a Sith, Ronan. And they're kind
we're
of...
gonna do this. Or...
Yeah. And so, like, both... Because he calls him... Ronan goes Master Jedi, as if he's, like, finally pulling that ace out. And, like, they're both holding on to their lightsabers, ready to go. And then we get this cool little, like, vision...
Yeah.
Haha, vision. Vision moment. Once again, just beautiful art. I got to show the audience because it's so...
It's great.
I would love this as like a
Someone give me
frame.
a-
I want this as a framed image like
Someone
that.
Get me a poster of this.
Right, there should be a poster framed up. God, it would look so beautiful. And so like they apparently get into this scrap
Yep.
where but it turns out that no, that was just a vision. Cause which is good because Ronan died in it. Like it did not go well for Ronan, or at least he got his hand cut off
No, he didn't. And
in the vision. Yeah, that's Ronan. He gets beat.
no, it's not that his hand gets cut off.
Well, he dies for sure. Cause that's that old school Ronan. That
I'm gonna keep reading.
yeah. So he would have died, but
He's
thankfully it's just a vision. So and both of them are like, nah, we don't need a reason to fight today. Well, Jedi Master is. Jedi Master's like, nah, we're good. I still know how to fight. Apparently, like, this was a shared vision, too. So, like, they both, like, saw this, and
Yep.
Shogun's like, no, I still know how to kick ass, so you don't want to do this.
mhm.
And basically, Jedi Master kind of gives it's not really a warning, but it is. Because he says, if you are alive, our fate should cross till we meet again, sir. And it's kind of like, are you saying that you'll fight next time, or are you saying that, like,
We'll hang out again, I guess.
like, what, I need more!
It's like, we'll see if you. Hey, if your book and prequel, if your duel and breaking that big fucking mirror goes well.
But yeah, so Ronan reveals he's like, if I had my hands on the sword, I would have died. And because it turned...
Like, I almost got really fucked up.
Yep.
I
So
was way closer than I needed to be.
so yeah, they part ways, and Ronan goes to his ship where his ride's waiting,
Yeah.
and that's the end of it.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
I liked it very much.
I am upset that this is a one shot.
I'm fine with it being a one shot.
I
want-
love the Roninverse so fucking much. Like, the Roninverse is so interesting because it's so different, but it's still Star Wars. Like, it's very much still Star Wars.
Yeah, and we've had this discussion before about how, like, a lot of Star Wars is actually based on, like, old samurai movies.
Like, it's samurai movies and westerns, which westerns are American samurai films.
Yep.
But, like, so it's all that combined, while westerns have a little bit of their own taste as well. So Star Wars is a blend of that. It's like, hey, we like samurai movies, but we also like westerns, which are somewhat samurai movies, but with their own, like, they have their own tropes as well. And we like those tropes. And so we combine all the tropes, and we made Star Wars. Also, it's a fantasy movie.
Yep.
And so this relies more on just straight up the samurai tropes, but it's also very much still Star Wars. Like, this is Star Wars.
Didn't mean to knock over the
No,
mic.
you're good. So, like, I just love the stories we are getting from this. I'm excited that we're getting Volume 2 of Visions. But I really want more of the Roninverse. Like, when I first saw The Duel, it wasn't my most anticipated thing.
Yeah.
Because, like, The Duel is really good. It's very beautiful. It's a animated short, and it deserves all the acclamations that it got. Like, it got all the acclaim, and it got, some Emmy noms. Like, it deserved all that. But it wasn't the most interesting universe if you just took The Duel by itself.
Yeah.
And so when I heard that that's the one they were making a book off of, I was like, okay, that's interesting. I could see more of this universe being interesting, but it's not the one I want the most.
But now, though, it's like, wait, I have more questions.
I need to know about the father. I need to know what goes on with this Jedi, with Shogun, because Shogun is so interesting as a character. Like, I need to know if Ronin and Shogun ever met again after the events of the Ronin book.
Yeah.
Like, because Ronin after that novel is so different. Like, he goes, like, the Ronin, the Duel is not a story about his character development. The Duel is just a fun little action story.
A setup for the book, if more than anything.
Yeah, and it's a fun little action story. Yeah, it's a fun little action story. It's your basic, I want a really cool lightsaber short film.
Yeah.
Cool, we got that. Ronin is a in-depth character study of the Ronin, and it's his arc going from this guy who...
And also how his past choices, like, affected the galaxy kind of as a whole.
Yeah.
Which has the funniest scene of people talking to him as he's playing himself as a cover. And
oh yeah, when him and Traveler go to that
the like resort town where they're like, I don't even think this Dark Lord was real. It's like, he's right.
If only you knew.
If only you knew how dangerously close to just getting absolutely fucked up right now.
Yeah. But yeah, so like, I want more of this universe. I want more of a lot of the universes from Visions. I still want the Ninth Jedi universe more. I still want...
The Ninth Jedi universe is great. And like...
It's because it fits within the Star Wars narrative once again. Like, it's not like Roninverse, where Roninverse is very much its own alternate reality.
Yes.
That you can arguably try to fit into Star Wars, but it would be like... So I argue that if you do try to fit it, it would have to be like the Great Schism. It would have to be on par with that far back in Star Wars history. It would have to be in the, like, Dawn of the Jedi that far back, just about. Yeah. Whereas the Ninth Jedi fits almost perfectly. You could say it's only really 100 years after Rise of Skywalker, and it would fit. Because Ninth Jedi, it's like, oh, no more Jedi again. And
there aren't a lot of Jedi around.
And also, we changed one thing about lightsaber crystals, but it's something that could feasibly fit in the Star Wars narrative.
Yeah.
Like, it's something that maybe certain crystals, lightsaber crystals that are found, they can do that. And they become the more prominent type of crystal that people are finding. But
The fucking reveal in the Ninth Jedi of like, oh yeah, by the way, like 7 out of 8 of us are evil.
so I definitely want more.
Yeah.
I originally thought this was supposed to be an ongoing when they announced it, because I thought it was supposed to be like, oh, you get stories from different vision, like wouldn't just be the Ronin verse, it would be like all the
Yeah.
vision stuff, and then it would also be like new stories that weren't even connected to the stories we've already gotten. That's what I thought we were supposed to get,
Mm-hmm.
but apparently this is it. We're just getting the one shot.
Yep.
It's a good one shot. It's a really good one shot. I mean, it's not the strongest narratively, but
It doesn't have to.
but it doesn't have to be. And I think what it does is still good world building for the Ronin verse. It's still beautiful artwork, which is what Visions is really meant to be. It's meant to be, how pretty of art can we get? And like
God.
half of these shots in this comic, I would just want posters of.
Yep.
And so
So here's some. Yeah. No,
I give it a at the if we're gonna, well, go ahead and give your thoughts, because I'm about to give it a number. So go ahead and give your thoughts first.
I like this. I am satisfied with what I have, like, as a whole, because the duel and the book came first. I read both. I read both of those.
Yeah.
I watched and read, and I like this because to me it sets up for that. And I think for the first time on this show, I'm gonna give this a 10 out of 10.
Oh, wow! High praise. I
For
haven't
those
even.
that don't know, high praise does not come easy from me.
I think the only thing I've ever given a 10 was Fallen Star, right?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know if I could give this a 10. I could probably give this an 8 or a 9. It's up there. It's
Yeah,
good.
It's very good.
It's very good, but I feel like if the story was a little bit more, because I have heard this, the story is hard to understand.
Yeah.
It's a good story, but it's hard to understand. I think if it was a little more clear, I could give it a 10, but I might have to just give it a 9 for now. Now, that doesn't mean I can't come back, read it again, and be like, oh, this is actually a 10. But on the show, for this reading of it, I give it a 9.
I'm not gonna argue against that. Like, it's good, and I think the issue is I just like really old samurai stuff. And I'm like, hell yeah. Also, like, drinking a little bit before a fight for like 12 hours.
It's very Star Wars.
Yeah. And also that, like,
yeah.
oh, thank God we didn't fight. I just gonna get wrecked.
Also very Star Wars.
Yeah.
So I'm moving some stuff in our schedule around
Yeah.
because I found out that something in our schedule is not coming out until March now,
All right.
and it was another one-shot comic. Instead, so next week is still staying the same. Next week we are reading the Tales of Enlightenment New Prospect short story, which takes place before the events of Path of Deceit.
All right.
So it's our High Republic short stories because now Star Wars Insider's like, okay, we're back to High Republic short stories.
There are two things that bring great joy to my heart:
Is it the High Republic and
the High Republican Road, but also hearing you apologize for being a bit of a dick to Gal.
oh yeah,
Like,
I mean,
because to me, I was like, man, that's a lot of hatred on someone.
yeah. I'm willing to
But-
admit when I went too far. I'm
Yeah,
willing to be the better man
like
and admit that. Yeah.
However, you know who we shouldn't have any mercy on?
Uh-oh. Who?
Traitor bitch.
Oh yeah, no. We don't give any mercy to Senator Staros.
No.
Gira
Context,
Gira
Senator
gets all over.
Staros sold the galaxy out to the knife.
Yeah, Senator Gira Staros still gets it.
Willingly. I was gonna say something, but
Well, she also gets it willingly in terms of that too. So now that I got to figure out how I'm gonna schedule some stuff because
well,
for later in the season. But for this month, it's fixed.
Yep.
So new update for this month. We're now doing Tales of Enlightenment next week. We've got now Quest for the Hidden City because that just came out. And so that's our junior novel. Which it looks like has some characters from the comic that I read so far. I'm working on figuring out how I'm going to get Quest for the Hidden City because that one's a little bit harder for me to grab right now, but I'm working on it. And then at the last book for this month that we'll be talking about is The High Republic Convergence, which is the adult novel, and I recently got my audiobook copy of it, so I've been listening to it, and I'm liking it so far. And that's our adult novel for Wave 1 of Phase 2. Because that's not confusing at all. Wave 1, Phase 2.
Yep.
And that will be our November schedule now. So next week, Tales of Enlightenment, New Prospects. So, all right. Thank you all for watching.
Yep.
Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel if you're watching on YouTube, which is Escape Reality Films. So youtube.com/Escape Reality Films will get you there. We have a lot of new stuff going on now. We are 6 subscribers away from the 200 mark as of today. I think yesterday we got our 194th subscriber. So we are really close to like doubling our subscribers in a little less than 2 years.
Yep.
Oh, correction. We are now 5 subscribers away.
All right.
We are now 5 subscribers away from 200.
Yeah.
So we are. I don't know if there's anything special.
Hold on a sec. Can you
Did you want to see?
comments for this?
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, it might have been your dad who's
Yeah, that's my dad's name.
No, I don't know if he subscribed or not, but he might have been. He might have been the one that's our 195th.
Thanks.
Yeah, if you did, thank you. Sometimes I see who subscribes and sometimes I don't.
Yeah.
It's a thing where so in your settings you can set it whether or not people see if you subscribe.
Ah, I see.
So that's something that I think it's preset that they can't.
All right.
I don't know what's the preset for that. And so I sometimes see when people subscribe and I sometimes don't.
I see.
I'll even get emails sometimes.
Yep.
But we've been doing a lot of things for the channel. I've started playing with YouTube Shorts more.
Yeah.
So we've been doing shorts at least every day. There will be a short today at some point.
I saw you getting jumped a lot in Waterdeep, I think.
Oh, in Baldur's Gate. Yeah.
Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, I'm in Baldur's Gate.
Can't go 10 feet without someone starting a fight.
Yeah. And then I've also been playing with. We now have access to post to the community tab, so I can now post things on the community tab. So, like, for example, I've been doing memes, polls, stuff like that.
Yep.
So feel free to interact with those as well. I've been messing up. Apparently, I haven't done them every day, so I need to do one today and make up for it. I missed only a few days. I missed 2 days. So I'll do one today to make up for it. And TikTok still important. So y'all can find me on TikTok at Caleb Lockwood 5. It's the only thing that I haven't rebranded yet. I'm working on rebranding things, which we're about to talk about. But what should we do for 200 subscribers? I haven't decided if we want to do anything for 200 subscribers or if I should wait till we get 1,000. Because 1,000 is the next big milestone. 200's not a big milestone, but it's a milestone. 1,000's the next big milestone because that's when we can start. That's when we can we can monetize. I feel like 200 though within 2 years is still like pretty good considering it took us about 5 years to get 100.
Yeah. All right. So that is a good question.
We'll leave that to the comments, I think.
Yeah.
If you guys want us to do something, then comment down below what we should do for 200 subscribers. On the other end, we've got Twitch, which has now been rebranded. It is now twitch.tv/Escape Reality Films. So everything is now going to slowly become Escape Reality Films as we rebrand. As far as that goes, we are... Have we hit our 100? I I don't think we've hit our 100 followers yet. I think we're close though. We're like right there.
Let's see.
Yeah, let me get to the dashboard here. Insights, channel analytics. Nope. Where's our community? Is it the community? No. Yeah. Followers list? No. I'll find it somehow, but I think we're really close to our goal of 100 followers. I think we're like right on the cusp of it.
Yep.
Yep, we got literally one more follower before it's 100 followers. So yeah, we're almost at our first goal for Twitch.
Yep.
So if you're watching on YouTube and you also have a Twitch, check us out on twitch.tv/Escape Reality Films. Yep. You can be our 100th follower, and then our next goal will be towards getting subscribers there, so that way we can make a little bit of some money off of the show. Because any money that we get goes towards the show.
Yeah.
Because it goes towards us getting books and comics and whatever else we need to read or watch or listen to for that week. Speaking of, if you do want to show financial support to the channel, we do have a Patreon. Yes. It is patreon.com/Escape Reality Films. I would like to thank Jennifer Brantley, Seth's mom, who is our current it's our only patron. She is wonderful, and so the benefits of being...
That's not talk shit.
Yeah. The benefits of being on Patreon for us is you can, on the first level, you can join us on the Discord server, come hang out with us. We talk about what we're reading usually. We also just, I'm trying to get it more active, so we're getting there.
Yeah, a little bit.
And then other benefits, if you go higher tiers, you get access to YouTube content a week before it's uploaded to YouTube. You also get access to the comic book that I'm working on, because currently I'm working on a comic book adaptation of my novels, Superworlds, and the Coat Wars short story collection. And I am currently working with my friend Colton Holcomb on the art, and we are uploading concept art whenever we get it. And so... And then
you still get access to the...
So on the first tier, you get access to the concept art, but the second tier is when the page is done, you'll get the page before anybody else. Because eventually, I'm going to start a... what's it called? Webtoons for us. And that's where we'll put the actual comic as it's coming out. So when we get 5 pages done, we'll post them there. But... for Patreon members, you get to see each page as it's done. So you'll be like, oh, the page is done. Cool, I get to read it before anybody else. And then eventually we'll do a physical release as well once an issue is done. You were going to ask, though?
Should we explain to them the naming system?
Oh, no. That's something that, if they have questions, they can ask us afterwards. And so those are all the cool things you can do to help and show support to us. Eventually, even TikTok will have the Escape Reality Films brand, but right now it's Caleb Lockwood 5. I will eventually get to it. I just haven't sat down and done it yet. But we are rebranding, so everything is under the same banner.
After not doing that for a while.
And then you can also find me on Twitter at Escape Reality !94.
You won't find me there.
There you can see me talk about Rooster Teeth and what they're doing wrong, and Star Wars. And also you'll also probably be one of the first to see when we're live, because I tend to I post there. I also post when I upload videos as well on YouTube, because YouTube gets a video a day. This counts as their video, by the way.
Yep.
But they'll also get a short later. I got to make my TikTok/short, which Instagram also has that, but I don't have a branded Instagram. So I mean, I guess you can follow me. I think it's Caleb. I think it's Caleb.Lockwood. Yeah. So you can find me on Instagram at Caleb.Lockwood, where you can watch reels and TikToks essentially that I post there. And we'll have a book review soon since I got Convergence early.
Mm-hmm.
So on the 22nd, keep an eye on that for the 22nd.
I'd say for the most part, book reviews are what we do on this channel.
Yeah, for the podcast.
For the podcast, sorry.
Yeah, I'd say the majority is book reviews just because that's the majority of content that's coming out right now. But yeah.
We do television shows occasionally.
We wait till like the season's done, which is what we're waiting for with Andor. I would also like to thank, we'll go top down this time. So we're going to thank Gamers and Geeks first.
Yep.
Because they provide the space that we use. And they are our local gaming shop. So if you're ever in Mobile, Alabama, come check them out. They're on Moffett. They have D&D, Magic, Warhammer. They got pretty much everything that you're looking for regarding tabletop gaming. They also have an arcade in the back where you can do $10 for the day, and it's like free play arcade machine, so you don't have to put quarters into the machine. You've already paid the $10. You get a little wristband that shows you paid, and you get to play until you're done, until you don't feel like it.
Yep.
And then next door to them, they've got inside the same building, we've got Engage Gaming, which is they basically do a console rental thing where you can come into the shop, and they have like Xbox, PlayStation, PC, and VR machines already set up. And you just pay an hourly rate to play on the machines. They provide the games as well. And if you pay a monthly membership fee, then you pay a lower rate on the hourly rate. And then let's also thank Mobcast Network, who are the ones that actually rent the space in here from Gamers and Geeks and lets us use it for free. Because I'm a producer on their shows. They are another podcasting group that you can find on youtube.com/Mobcast Network. You can also find them on any podcasting app. And I think we're bringing back Cult Movie Cantina I think it's coming up this week or next week. Because we didn't do anything in October, so I think we're for sure starting this week because we got our 2 November movies that we got to get through. And basically we talk about old movies. And we show them to somebody who hasn't seen them before, those movies before, because they grew up not watching a lot of movies. And then we also
called out. I'm not the one you're talking about.
No. Although that is very much also you for Star Wars. That's what we do to you for the Star Wars show. We drag you into Star Wars stuff that you haven't read or seen before because you haven't read or seen it before. And then we also have a drink to go with it, some sort of alcoholic beverage that is themed around the movie, and then we just talk about the movie and our thoughts on it. And then the other show is My Star Wars Life, where currently we are talking about the Andor show, and then that's it for current shows. There's also Tuesdays with Scotty that's currently being backlogged. And that's basically just the owner of the main guy who runs Mobcast Network. His thing is just Tuesdays with Scotty is just him talking about whatever he feels like, and like really no like specific like topic. It's just like, oh, I felt like talking about this today. And we usually have fun guests on, so that's a good show as well. And I produce and co-host. So if y'all want to see more of me, that's a way to do it. And it also shows support to our partners here that give us the opportunities to use this cool space.
Yep.
All right, so we'll see you guys next week with what did I say? It's Tales of Enlightenment, New Prospects.
All right.
All right. I have spoken.
Thanks for watching. We'll